Welcome, everybody, to the Loud and Drunk podcast, and it's time to check in on the guys. So many grievances, so many grievances. Moses, what grievances do you have to air in this episode?
I'm tired of you people driving at all, because you can't do it, and just get out of my goddamn way. Like, I've took 2 trips, saw 4 accidents, and they were just lane changes. And these are the people going slower than I want to go because I can't drive 55. That's court ordered. But yeah, if it says 35, do 50, 60. And get out of the goddamn left lane.
Come on and write me up on 125. Justin, sir, what kind of grievances do you have in this episode?
So, I mean, obviously driving's always a big one. I had many driving occurrences on my way just to the studio today that were incredibly obnoxious, but I have some wildly varied ones that we'll get into of why certain things are made out of certain things these days and the whole life in general. But yeah, we'll get into it. It'll be interesting.
Yes, hello. I am Happy Seinfeld. Very pleased to be here.
You don't look Jewish.
I actually am. I'm half Jewish.
Or happy.
I'm actually a very happy person. I'm actually very excited to be here on this particular episode of the podcast. Longtime follower. I don't have many grievances. I am drinking a whiskey mixed with some sort of apple juice, and there's a vodka in there. I have no grievances, Dan. I'm generally just very happy in life. I have a live and let live mentality. I think there's really no reason to ever really raise your voice or your attitude towards anybody else. I think it's just very important for all of us to understand that people have their other grievances. They have their own problems. And it's important for us to really compartmentalize and deal with that in a good way. I see your hands up, so
I can't wait to test that theory.
I got beef with that.
Yeah.
But we also have beef with YouTube. So make sure if you are listening to this podcast on YouTube that you are hitting that notification bell. Share it with all your friends because YouTube hates us. They will not let you know if our content is available, and they sure as hell aren't showing it off to anybody. So make sure that you share this with your friends and hit that notification bell and bookmark loudanddrunk.com. You can catch up on the podcast there. Check out some merch, everything Loud and Drunk. Check it out. Bookmark it today. And then I won't have a beef with you.
Yeah. And then we're at least going somewhere.
Every time you like and share, it's a kick in YouTube's fucking giggle wiggle.
Wow.
I like how you were trying to avoid another word, but yet you just said fucking.
Oh. Dan, I'm a half Italian. That's just how, that's like saying the.
There's a number of, now I have just grievances based on how this podcast has started.
Grievances on grievances.
I mean, how appropriate.
Yeah.
So, like, all right. So, like, this podcast,
I tried.
We're not chasing a topic this time. We're kind of doing a check-in with everybody. We all got some stuff that's grinding our gears right now.
We did an episode similar to this last year, so I figured it was a good time to do one again.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So, yeah, we've been doing this podcast going on.
Yeah, like over a year.
Over a year.
We launched in March.
Last
year.
Yeah, so we're closing in on that 18 months thing. Where are we at? Like, relatively close to episode-wise?
We're like
60-something?
The 70. This will be
this
episode
will be 70, right?
Yeah.
Or debatably.
Yeah.
But.
Yeah, so I'm like, been kicking this around for a long time. We're still doing it because we're all insane people.
I'm sorry to interrupt you. Is Moses smoking a joint right now?
It's either that or a marker cap.
It's hard to tell what he's smoking.
Is Moses just turning into Joe Rogan?
I think
just
he
gonna
is
start
that
doing
way.
This is another beef that I have.
Yes.
If we wanted to do the Joe Rogan podcast, we would just try to get that guy.
I have a good DMT guy.
All right. I'm sorry, Justin. Go ahead.
I don't even know what all right.
I gave him some DMT.
You fucker. So yeah, we're essentially doing a check-in. Podcast's been going for a minute, and like we're happy, well, to an extent that we keep doing it. I think we mostly like doing it, and I truly mean that. There'll be changes coming up soon. We are trying to grow, and we appreciate any of you that are listening right now. We appreciate you. Thank you for that. But it's been a little bit of a hard road at times.
Yeah, it's a real knife fight out there in podcast land.
Yeah.
So,
Dan, you got to keep your head on a swivel when you're in a cockfight.
Oh, fuck. I had a Puerto Rican joke, but I forgot.
It's probably best that I cut you off then. We're already fucking banned from YouTube because of your goddamn Puerto Rican jokes.
Fuck those.
we're
nerds.
not banned. We can still post there. They're
Yeah.
just not showing our episodes to anybody.
Fair enough.
Well, yeah. So, like, listen, it's at the top of it. YouTube does not like us.
No, absolutely not. And then also, too, I guess we'll just, while we're doing kind of like a little bit of cleanup here. There's no good way for this podcast to be seen on Rumble as well, because that kind of the way Rumble works is it kind of favors live streaming.
It
so
does.
we don't do that yet. Maybe
Right.
stay tuned.
Oh, you could see me smoke these joints and decide which of these 3 beers I'm going to finish.
He does have like 7 half-drank beers.
Well, these
in
are
front of him.
empties.
Oh, 5.
How can you tell? How can you tell which ones?
I don't
Because
think you
they're
can.
lighter than the other.
So you have to reach over and grab them.
Well, that's
many
why I have
bottles
this
over
joint
there.
to delineate what's going on.
I feel like that's
sober up.
actually an enjoyable thing about when we do go live or just have that video component, because it sounds like we're making this up.
Or not.
But in reality, like there's a lot of bottles there.
This is chaos.
Yeah, it
Well.
is. Well, I mean, we have the incarnate of chaos right here,
Yes.
sitting to my right, and actually sitting to your right as well.
I was crowned in 1753.
Oh,
Okay, then.
Yeah.
well, like, yeah,
don't
you
know
can't
that
see this, but like, we talk about how we record at a bar. We literally record at a bar. We're all sitting at a bar in essentially a U shape right now.
Yeah.
That comes with not many perks and some.
We could smoke in here.
We can. That's a
That is
perk.
nice, huh?
To Dan's dismay.
To Dan's dismay.
Oh, I don't know who that guy
In
is.
fairness, my eyes were burning about halfway through.
And you smoke.
I know. I'm one of the guilty parties. I'm not going to deny that.
It is worse on the few occasions where we record during the day. On the few occasions where we record while the sun's out,
Yeah.
it's just looking at each other through a fucking gray haze.
Oh, it's
Yeah.
brutal.
Yeah.
I feel sometimes like when it's like so thick in here, I feel like we're like the shovel people on the Titanic. Like we're just like below decks.
Yeah, we're the Irish below deck.
Yeah, exactly.
We're doing a merry
and we
jig.
just like we shovel the coal and we breathe in the smoke, and one day people will make it to America. That's our lives.
Yeah, I'm the one that doesn't smoke.
Right, right.
I just wondering, like, yeah, I'm gonna come back smelling like cigarettes.
Yeah.
Fortunately, I have no one to piss off with that.
I mean, that's fair enough. We all have angry mothers, though. So.
Yeah, she doesn't check in. So let me kick us off with
Please,
my
please.
big grievance for this podcast, because I work in sports, politics, culture. It's a thing that I have to deal with continuously. But it's summertime.
It is.
And my favorite sport, hockey, is no more.
No.
It is not happening until like September when the preseason kicks off for the NHL. There are no good summer sports. You could if
there
you're a
really aren't.
if you're a baseball fan, I apologize. You love what you love, fine. I find it boring as shit. I tried when I was a kid. I tried to be a Phillies fan. I watched one game against the Yankees. They won, and I'm like, maybe I like baseball. Then I watched the second game, and I was bored as hell again.
I'm in the same boat. I used to go to Veterans Stadium all the time as a kid, and I guess I like the novelty of it as
It's on one hand, I do understand that the vast majority of Americans, 98%, I believe, argue that it is the most objectively boring sport. And while I know that there's metrics to back that up, I will say that when I have watched baseball, entertaining as it is, I do question why people are paid $57 million a year to not hit a ball. And it's just something that kind of grinds my gears a little bit. That said, I have no complaints in this particular episode.
But it's not even just aimed at baseball,
right.
because there's nothing competing with baseball in the summer. Now,
Absolutely
this
not.
year we have the Olympics,
Sure.
but it's the Summer Olympics. I could give a rat's ass about the Summer Olympics.
You know where even is it? Paris?
I think it's Paris.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's in Paris, yes.
But I only watch the Winter Olympics and only watch ice hockey
Right.
in the Winter Olympics. I don't care about the Summer Olympics. I've woken up drunk, like hungover as hell in Boston over like a friend of a friend's house, and he's watching like soccer or field hockey or whatever the fuck, because the Olympics were on that year, and I'm like, I don't like this. I don't like any of this. And I need to go, but I'm not in charge.
Right.
I am a guest, and I have to just stay here and I guess watch field hockey or soccer, whatever the fuck was on at the time.
If I could add something, I just read it like an hour before I came down here today. Olympics are gonna be in Paris. They're trying to get like the Seine like cleaned up so that they can do like the water sports in it.
Yeah.
Oh, ew.
Yes.
Yeah.
So you know how like in France they're always protesting.
Yes.
So I guess like the big protest is a bunch of people are going to go down and shit in the Seine.
Yeah. Yeah. I heard about that.
I don't really
What
have
do
a lot
they
of...
do? Wait, what do they do now? I thought that was just common day practice.
I'll say this. I don't have a lot of good things to say about the French as a red-blooded American, but I do love how they protest. That's fucking badass. Imagine if like a bunch of people went to go and shit in whatever fucking river it is that goes through DC, just like as a statement. Is there a river that goes through there? I don't know.
There is a river. Yeah, I think isn't it the Delaware?
No.
It has a name that's not coming to my brain right now, and
Isn't
I
it the
apologize.
Potomac?
Potomac.
Oh, the
Potomac.
Yeah.
Potomac. Yeah.
This ties into another grievance. I'll marry these two together. One summer sport that has gotten attention, which is like a slap in my face, has been the WNBA for some reason.
Really?
Yeah, because one player in particular.
She's a great player, Dan.
Well, in defense, like
I haven't even heard the problem. What are you defending?
They haven't had a dream team in forever.
Well, she's not on that dream team, by the way. She's like for the Olympics. They did not allow Caitlin Clark to be on that team.
They kind of hate her.
Yeah, they kind of hate her. And
I don't know who that is.
And it's just such a catty freaking thing. Like I have to hear about it endlessly at work. Like legitimately, like it's always the leading story, and all I want to do is just walk out into the bay until the bubble, and then don't come out
into the
until the
sea
bubble
of
stops.
shit from France.
But this is the thing that really drives me nuts.
Okay.
Because the NBA Finals happened. It was lame. Fine. But it's a better form of basketball than the WNBA. That's undeniable. And then you also had the Stanley Cup Final. You had the Stanley Cup playoffs, which is, I would say, objectively, hockey is a better sport. You can argue with me left and right that that's not true. That's
I
fine.
had no idea that.
I'd like to, but I can't. I'm in agreement with you there.
This is where I would take influence from Jon Stewart if we had camera, because I'd be like, men, meet me at camera 2. If you are choosing to watch the WNBA over the NBA Finals and the Stanley Cup Final, meet me at the studio and turn in your fucking man card. Because if you're doing that, you are a low-T loser, and you need to do something to get your testosterone back.
Oh, I like
Shout
that.
out.
Low-T loser.
I'll play devil's advocate to it. What's her face? Whose name I can't remember.
Caitlin Clark.
Thank you. She fucking shoots 3-pointers like nobody's fucking.
Isn't that all NBA,
That's
WNBA
all,
is?
That's all the NBA is too.
Well, that's
thanks
true.
to Steph
Yeah.
Curry.
But
I'm saying-
nobody can fucking defend her. Like
She's
just
not even
fucking
scoring
killing
a whole lot of points in the WNBA anyway.
What?
She
15
makes-
is a lot in that
But
league.
also at the same time, why are you, as a man, if you're a woman, go right ahead. You can do whatever the fuck you want to do. It's women's sports. It's for you. But if you're a guy and you're choosing to watch female basketball instead of the NHL, which is one of the most freaking physical goddamn sports leagues where they're hitting each other, giving each other concussions, they're literally shooting a goddamn puck at 100 miles an hour. If you're choosing to watch women's basketball, turn in your man card immediately.
Oh, there's not a whole lot of blacks
And come
on the
back
ice.
and come back when you've chopped down a tree
In
and
fairness,
fucked the
that
prom queen.
3-pointer scorer, yeah.
All right.
less.
Excuse my naivete about this. I don't follow the NBA, much less the WNBA. What's the deal with this lady?
So this girl, Caitlin Clark.
Is she like trans?
No, she's not trans. No.
Jesus Christ. I hate that that's where the conversation has to go these days.
Caitlin Clark.
She's a proper woman.
Caitlin Clark.
Whatever that
played-
means.
She broke the record for scoring in NCAA basketball, both men and women.
Sure,
She
yeah.
played for Iowa.
Gotcha.
They never won they made it to the Final Four, I think, the
Iowa is
last 2
pretty
years,
terrible.
but they never actually won the national championship or whatever. She left Iowa early, so
Okay.
she could have had one more year of eligibility. She would have made more money if she stayed in college because of name, image, likeness.
Oh, she's like the Sean Kemp of women's basketball.
If I may, Justin, the short version of it is that she's a fucking amazing female ball player.
Okay.
In general, she's an amazing ball player.
Well, I mean, I just told you that she broke the record. She broke a
And
man.
she's
She broke-
Straight up, yeah, she's just phenomenal. Like, honestly, watching her, I genuinely think I don't find women's basketball to be very entertaining.
No.
I will absolutely acknowledge that. But that said, she's very good at it.
one player.
So
In
she's
a
become
league.
like the
Yeah, she's
distracted
the only
face.
player.
And
Yeah.
also, like, if you go by the attendance, she's bringing in a crowd, and then no one else is bringing in a crowd.
Well,
and I
yeah.
have to hear about this every day
Well,
because
that's
I also
fair,
have to hear about the drama. Oh, this league that's predominantly black and lesbian hates this white
Yeah.
straight chick.
They
And I'm
don't-
like,
Yeah, but
I
eventually
don't-
she's going to have an antithesis.
That is,
that'll bring those other people in from those other whoever has WNBA team. I can't say that.
You know the most about basketball here.
Yeah, but it's not the WNBA. WNBA.
It's not the 90s Bulls, so he doesn't know anything.
So he has no clue.
I'm kind of out of it.
I will say this. I very loosely follow this, but she is an amazing fucking ball
I'm not
player.
denying that.
But I do get what you're saying, where it's surrounded by this drama of the fact that she's white and so on and so forth. So you've got a
and
lot
she's
of
a rookie.
You've got a lot of players. Yeah, she's a rookie. You've
And
got a
all
lot
the
of
attention
players.
is on her.
Yeah,
Is
they
she still
really
in college?
don't like that she's the one who's like getting the points. She's like a Larry Bird of her time in some ways. You know,
Everybody loves Larry Bird.
everybody loves.
All right,
Larry
so
Bird.
she is an aberration distraction.
She's
to
an
the whole thing.
aberration.
Yeah.
She's a distraction.
She's an aberration of an
she's
aberration.
a good ball player. But here's my counter to that.
Mm.
There are so many talented players in the NBA and the NHL, especially in the NHL. They literally score goals now by putting the puck on the
Yeah.
stick and they just slip it in.
Yeah.
They are amazing. If you're going to sit
Nickel
there
for every time.
If you're going to
It's offensive. It's offensive.
if you are going to sit there and be like, well, she's so great, I have to watch her, and then you're not going to go there, and you're not going to watch Connor fucking McDavid in the Stanley Cup Final, who almost single-handedly made a fucking Stanley Cup Final where the Panthers were up 3-0. And then the Oilers came back and forced a Game 7 because Connor McDavid had first time this has happened in the Stanley Cup Final, 2 straight 4-point games.
People don't care about hockey.
I
and
understand.
you know that I'm a hockey
People don't
fan.
care about the WNBA either.
I'm
Now
gonna
they
piss
do.
you off, Dan. And I'm like, oh, the Oilers are still a team?
Yes.
Yes.
Edmonton all day. Are you serious?
I remember playing them in Stanley Cup on Super Nintendo.
My God.
But
It's shocking that I have to defend Edmonton here.
I will break it down, though, quite simply. It doesn't matter because one is women's basketball and the other is a contact sport, one of the most physical sports. If you are choosing as a man, again, women, do whatever the fuck you want. WNBA is supposed to be aimed at you, so you should probably be watching it. If you're a dude and you're not watching Stanley Cup Final or even the NBA Finals and you're choosing to watch the WNBA, turn in your man card. Maybe you need to go chop
to
down
be
the
honest, I'm just watching SVU.
Yeah, I mean, that's fine because you're not doing any of that. But if you're watching the WNBA over a pro...
No, I'll
men
skip
pro
over
world-
that little reel on Facebook because I don't care.
So, all right. So, like, as like the outsider to this whole thing,
Yeah.
'cause, like, I don't pay attention to any of this stuff. It seems like, all right, she's an aberration. She's incredibly good, blah,
Yeah.
blah, blah, blah. It
Yes.
seems like it's just drama driven up around
It's drama
her.
driven up. She's good.
Yeah.
She can shoot 3-pointers and all that. Yeah.
Yes,
But,
yeah.
like, at the end of the day, I'm still of the mind, and maybe it's just like, oh, Dan's a chauvinist and all that stuff. But I'm still of the mind that you have these 4 sports leagues. Now, I'm not going to include baseball in that because baseball's boring.
That's boring.
That's
as shit.
fair.
Nobody likes baseball. They just
No.
pretend to like it.
Golf is a better baseball.
But what other sport?
I want to agree with you because I hate baseball, but it makes no
Hockey-
sense.
If you want to turn all this drama into a thing, and it's like, oh, well, she got fouled super hard and all that stuff. There's fighting in hockey
Yeah.
all the time. It's a super
they
fucking
do that in-
masculine sport.
They do that in the NBA too. That
They
they're
stopped
like,
doing that.
they're-
Once Ron Artest changed his name to World Peace or whatever the heck he did.
Hockey is
Oh
just
my god, a bad memory just unlocked.
hockey is just a less popular sport, and it's
I
one of my
understand that
favorite sports.
I understand that it's less popular in this country, and that's why I've taken this stance. My hot take. If you're watching the WNBA over the NHL, you lose a lot of points as a man.
Should
Yeah,
probably
she's
start
making all those
using-
3 points though.
Start using those skates as blades. And
That happens naturally.
I know, but no, make it happen unnaturally. And I'll tune in.
Are you just like condoning murder on the ice?
I'm not doing that.
All right.
Also, real quick, attached to that, because I just don't want to make it aimed at you individuals out there. If you are a sports media company, ESPN, and if you're covering the WNBA like it's actually relevant instead of covering the Stanley Cup Final, you should be abolished.
They have like 15 channels. Like they got to fill them with something.
It's funny to me. So like I've largely understood the WNBA's like viewership has always been like wildly low.
Yeah.
Um,
It's going
Wow.
to lose $50 million despite Caitlin Clark being in the league this year.
Does it ride on the NBA?
The NBA has subsidized it
Yeah.
ever since its inception.
Yeah.
It is a
That's what I thought there was
landmark
something
in
like
terms
that,
of
but-
how bad of a business it is. And that's also another thing that pisses me off about it. It's like this thing would not exist if it wasn't being subsidized by a better
People
sports
just,
league.
I mean, the reality of it is, if we talk about the sports aspect of it, the reality of it is that the male dominated sport is the one that makes money, period.
Yeah.
And if you want for women to
Not Brazilian
have the
volleyball.
equivalent version of that sport, then you need to subsidize it in some way. Whether that's
for 30
right-
years?
Well, I don't. I'm just
Well,
saying.
no, that was a
then you
bad
need
move
to
on
do
fucking
that if you
NBA
want.
to
If
just
you want
create,
for-
like, to allow it to go.
If you're a
It's
business
just
and you habitually lose money for nearly 3 decades,
no.
you're not a good business, and you should have been shut down in half that time at least.
And I'm looking at you, White House.
Is the NBA still doing as well as it used to?
No.
Yeah, they're kinda-
It's been losing ratings.
Yeah.
Like I think the first round their ratings dipped by 9% or something like that.
Something like that. I know they've been on the slide.
Yeah, but then again, like the NHL's ratings went up in the first round by 17%.
Right,
But like,
right.
what numbers are we talking about here?
yeah.
I did look at it. I think the NBA final still got under 10 million, but it was like not 8-9 million or
Right,
whatever.
right,
And
right.
the NHL, at least in this country, got 2 million, but across North America, it was in that same bracket.
I
8,
think I
9
do
million.
remember hearing some kind of news report, like not news, but like just some kind of report about that. It was the lowest performing NBA finals
Yeah,
in history.
yeah, because people just like
They
getting
didn't talk
bored with
about
it.
the Stanley Cup because nobody cares about the hockey.
I will say that I love that you said that it wasn't a news report that you listened to, but just like a report. And now I'm wondering, like, who it was that said this to you. I'm not even questioning the accuracy. That might be fine. But, like, is this like a guy like behind like a porno theater? Where you, like, get your
You
tips
told me
from?
this like 2 hours ago.
Oh, shit, that was me. And it was behind a porno theater. Jesus Christ, I got to clean up my act.
You're reporting news. Behind porno theater.
Oh, we didn't know
And
it.
I'm
We
just
didn't know
trying
it
to
was
make ends meet.
Now we know why you're happy.
Yeah. If you guys could just go over to our Patreon and just do anything that you can.
to catch the video.
Oh my god, it's ridiculous.
We have remarkable CCTV.
It's so funny because, like, I find I know nothing about it, but you speak with passion, and it seems like something that you really care about, and like I find it valid. Man, my grievances are so crazy person grievances.
No, let's
That-
Are they about just people?
No, all right, I'll take this, and like I know it's me being an insane person, but can we stop making non-chicken things out of chicken?
That's fair.
That's actually
definitely fair.
Yeah.
Because chicken is a boring fucking meat to begin with.
It takes on all the flavors, though.
I am tired, sick and tired
You should have.
of seeing chicken hot dogs.
I
Chicken
didn't know
meatballs.
that. Like, I assumed that was a thing, but I didn't know.
Yeah,
that
I've
was
seen
a thing.
turkey. I don't know if I've. Maybe I have seen a chicken meatball, but I didn't know it went to that extent.
I have had it up to here with chicken being put where it should not belong.
Yeah.
It is aggravating. I don't want chicken's chicken. It's the fucking white meat. It tastes like nothing.
Yeah.
You know, it's whatever. And it has its place. When I want to eat chicken, I want to eat chicken.
I enjoy chicken.
But like
When I want a meatball, I
This
want a
hit me-
meatball.
This hit me the other day. I was in Costco. So Costco is notorious for this. Any meat product that isn't like raw meat that you like buy from the meat case is just made out of chicken. All their sausages, chicken. Meatballs,
That's weird. I didn't know
chicken.
that.
Why?
He's right. He's
Why?
Yeah.
right.
If I see sausage, I want a pork sausage or a beef sausage. Chicken, get the fuck out
Nah.
of here.
Yeah.
Chicken
I didn't know that
shouldn't
you
be
could make
sausage.
sausage out of, yeah, I didn't know you could do that.
Chicken is so fucking dry. It's so fucking lean. It's the healthy. So they're trying to make everything out of chicken
But it's
because
not.
it's
Like,
lean
that's a
meat.
misnomer
Yeah.
because it's really not. I mean, I'm not a fucking doctor, though I play one on TV. But I feel like it's once you make something into a sausage, it's not healthy. It's like 'cause you've made
No,
it into a
because
sausage.
it needs a lot of fat to be a
to
sausage.
be. Yeah, exactly.
Just
so
to
you've just taken.
classify as a sausage.
Yeah, you've taken a lean meat and you implanted it
Pork
into an
fat,
otherwise
because you're not
unhealthy
getting fat
meal.
off the chicken.
What's that?
You're not getting fat off the chicken. Maybe
Well, there
the
is
duck
fat on the chicken.
I know, but you're not getting that.
It's just
Well, you could,
chicken is
yeah.
just a very naturally not fatty meat, and it's like
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, sure, you have your dark meat that has a little bit higher fat content in it, but I'm like everything's being made out of chicken these days, and I'm like,
Yeah.
I'll get chicken breast and I'll cook chicken. Well, no, that's a lie. I'm a chicken thigh guy. Now.
I'm a chicken thigh
yeah.
guy. That's where it's at.
Yeah.
That's where the flavor is.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but like
Why
all
am I
this
eating
shit is
fucking
just
chicken
made out of
breast?
processed.
I
ass-
like chicken wings, not the drumstick. The
No, chicken wings
Like-
great. It can be good, but it's chicken being chicken.
Yeah.
Yeah. I will say that, and this is a little bit unrelated to your point, but
I told you, this is an insane thing. It's just
No, I have something to say
No,
about
there's
it.
like you're right.
I was just going to say that I eat a lot of chicken wings at the various bars that I go to,
Uh-huh.
and I know how deeply unhealthy they are, but my God, they're just so delicious.
So delicious.
I just I can't really stop. It's like, you know, some people are like addicted to like heroin.
I've known one or two.
Yeah. Anyways, then.
Present.
So I am curious how a chicken hot dog would taste. I'm confident that I wouldn't like it.
It's got to be awful.
But
It would
I-
taste like the ketchup or mustard you put on it.
Yeah, true.
And it should be mustard regardless because it's a hot dog.
But it seems like this is aimed at me because I eat a preposterous amount of chicken.
Oh,
Do you feel triggered?
I thought you ate a
sweet
preposterous amount of
snowflake Dan.
ravioli. I didn't know you ate anything other than ravioli, honestly. I've never seen you eat it other than ravioli. That's all I've seen you eat.
What?
How do you, wait, what?
What?
Are you watching me eat?
Yeah, sounds
Are
like
you
it.
just lurking
Yeah, I
outside?
subscribe.
I know Dan's a fan of ravioli, but
This
it's
is
not
what-
the only thing
Hey,
I've ever seen.
No, you could watch this too on the Patreon.
Yeah.
You gotta pay $100.
Mr.
but-
Justin, I'm sorry you had to find out this way, but Dan does have a live OnlyFans,
Yeah.
where you can
Oh, good for
watch him
you.
eat
Good for you.
ravioli, and it seems to me like maybe Mr. Moses has subscribed.
Listen, I'm
God
fine
knows
as long
I
as
did.
it's not chicken ravioli.
Well, yeah, I don't. It
Oh, no,
doesn't look like it. at least.
I would never do that. That's a crime against humanity. Like I make a lot of shit out of just chicken
Okay.
because I'm just like I used to get like the pork shoulder steak and like
Yeah.
regular steak and all that stuff, and it was really bothering my stomach. Like it was
Okay.
just so I just ended up being like, you know what? Maybe we just clean it up, just go with chicken, make a whole bunch of shit with that, and
Mhm.
move on. I'm not saying that the chicken hot dog and making everything out of that because that seems preposterous. Like if I just want to make a breakfast meal with chicken, I'll just take
Well, no,
one of the
because
chicken
that's chicken
cutlets.
being chicken.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I could just cook it.
That doesn't. That is not an affront to me.
Yeah, no,
It's when
I'm
you
not-
try to put chicken
What I
into things that are not chicken.
What I was getting to
Nice
is
chicken steak.
the target demographic
like chicken
for
fried
these
chicken
things
steak.
would be me.
You're right.
Except I don't want a chicken hot dog.
No.
I kind of just want a regular hot dog
Yeah.
with chili on it and not chicken chili.
Right.
Oh, fuck that.
I think it's because like it's the narrative that chicken's a lean protein.
Yeah.
And also considerably cheaper than
Yeah.
like red proteins.
Yeah, and that's one of the big reasons why I moved
Yeah.
over to chicken.
No,
as well.
I-
Steak is expensive.
Yeah.
As much as I can find myself sometimes on board with these concepts of like healthier eating or that it's cheaper, you know, certainly something that I consider. There is something about the way in which it's permeated our eating habits that seems very dystopian. You know, like that like we've went from beef, you know, to pork, and now it's chicken. And then and eventually the chickens will run out. And then we're just eating like plankton from the sea. And then eventually it's people.
Well,
I'm gonna stand up. I'm gonna put my fucking horns in the sand right now, Dan.
Then I'm ahead of the curve because all I eat is swordfish.
Okay.
Okay, so you're just wiping out our ocean then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's probably
Well,
worse than
and-
all these things.
In
No,
fairness,
but it's
Dan,
so delicious.
Chickens are terrible people. I will stand by this, and that's why I
they're
bring
no
upon the
You
chicken holocaust.
historically have a feud
Yeah.
with chickens.
Well, it's a bird. It's something of the avian variety.
Mosey, oh, that's just a bird.
No, Dan hates birds.
Yeah, I'm a
Hates them.
birdcist.
He is birdcist.
God damn it! There's some sort of
As a bird
avian-
lawyer, I advocate for other birds.
I know this is like an insane thing, and I'm also like getting self-conscious about it, but I'm going to still let it fly. I truly believe in it.
No, I agree with
Yeah.
you because as I said before, if I wanted chicken for breakfast, God damn it, I'll just make an omelet.
Right.
I know how to do these things.
Yes. It's simple. And like, I'm not mad at chicken being chicken.
Yeah.
Like-
Chicken has its place.
Yeah, it absolutely does. And sometimes I want some fucking chicken. But like, this is the thing. I was looking for sausages
Yeah.
and the only options were chicken sausages.
Oh Jesus!
I was like,
Yeah, that's bizarre.
Yeah.
they have
Especially at
19
Costco,
versions
yeah.
of chicken sausages
Supermarket doing you
and
dirty.
chicken meatballs. And I'm just like, that is not what I want.
Yeah.
That I agree with you, but the most offensive thing is chicken being a meatball. Because I get a meatball because I want a meatball.
Right.
Meatball. Like,
Yeah.
I get chicken as meat, but like,
Right.
is it like I want a meatball and to disguise it as anything other than like lamb, pork?
I mean, just as like, because
beef.
it's so
Dry,
naturally
like-
dry. What are you using as a binder?
Yeah.
See, that's
Yeah.
I actually
More
can
eggs.
chime in with this as well because I sometimes use ground chicken
Yeah.
when I cook. And it's not,
God bless you. I could never do it.
it's not as good as
Yeah.
ground beef, but every once in a while I just want to change it up.
Nope.
I got told my cholesterol was high, so I was like,
yeah.
gotta do something,
Yeah,
I
yeah, yeah.
guess. So.
Yeah.
I was told that too. I said, fuck you, nerds.
That's amazing that your cholesterol is high. Meanwhile, we got Mr. Moses over here. He's doing fucking like 50,000 lines a day, maybe a little bit of dope.
You know what producer Dan isn't doing? 15,000 lines of coke.
Yeah.
Yeah, but also,
That would lower your blood pressure.
It would.
I
It would
my blood
make the
pressure
blood
is
flow go.
shockingly fine. I just eat like Ron Swanson.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I do eat.
You know what? I will
eat
have that
shitty,
third
but
steak.
I
Yeah,
also eat very well too.
There have been times where before I injured my shoulder, that I would legitimately eat 2 steaks in a day just because I'm like,
about that?
I need to recover.
I'm here for a good time, not a long time.
That
you know?
makes no sense, but I get the thinking.
No, I'm getting the protein.
Yeah, builds muscle.
And you know, off to fucking chicken's weird fucking cousin. Fuck off with the turkey bacon. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
turkey
well,
bacon
that's-
is an affront to bacon.
I
Call
have-
it
I have-
something else.
I have tried turkey bacon, and I have been disappointed in myself every time I've tried it.
I'm disappointed in
I
you
will
right
say
now.
my personal opinion, while we're talking about like meatballs and these other things, I think that you can make that work. I'm not saying this is good and it doesn't need to be made. But what I will say is that there's no replacement for bacon.
No,
Yeah.
Bacon
call
is
it
bacon.
something
Yeah.
else. Like
Yeah.
maybe it tastes
Call it-
good,
yeah.
but just call it something else. Be
Yeah,
your
you
own
don't
thing.
need to call it that. Yeah, like like you don't need to mimic the other thing.
Yeah.
Just make another. Like I do believe that you can make like delicious dishes out of whatever. Like if you're trying to like live this fucking like lifestyle from India or some bullshit, then you can totally go into that, and that can be very nice for
I
you.
think they'll totally eat whatever.
Yeah, that's probably true.
Maybe
it's
not
mostly
the
herbs
cow.
and spices.
Maybe not the cow, but everything else, yes.
But the bottom line is that when it comes to things like that they are what they are. Bacon is bacon. It's a plain dish, and you can't replace that with something else. And if you don't want to eat bacon because you're obviously very sad, depressed, and you should talk to somebody, there is a 1-800
Or you
number
just
out there
don't
for
want
you.
to enter in the cheat code for food that day.
Yeah.
Oh, maybe you're a good person and you're committing suicide and you don't want to take that bacon that's going to be wasted on you for nothing.
Well, they should eat the bacon before they kill themselves.
No, kill yourself if you're not, because you can always
No,
have
you
more
eat
bacon.
the bacon before you kill yourself.
Well, I
Save
would-
that bacon
you
for
know-
somebody who's going to appreciate it.
You know what? You're probably not going to kill yourself if you eat the bacon. You'll be like, this is what bacon tastes like. I got to keep living.
And I keep calling that 900.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I had a really rough day early in the week. I ate a whole pound of bacon for breakfast.
Good for you.
Yeah.
Good for you. That's definitely a Ron Swanson
Yeah, well,
moment.
yeah.
It's
Cook
one of those-
bacon well, though.
I can relate to this. I've had like the shittiest day ever.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm just gonna eat a bunch of trash, and it's gonna be awesome. And then I don't feel any better about what happened, but I do go to sleep, and when I wake up, I'm like, man, I feel really good. And then
My
get about it.
intention was I'm gonna make bacon. I'll have a little bit with breakfast. I'll have some for later. Like I'll keep it in the fridge. I can throw it on like a sandwich or
You
something
made
like
a
that.
bunch of bacon and thought you were just gonna like segment it.
How do you
Well, that's
say
what I'm saying.
bacon?
That's the type of liar I am to
Yeah,
myself.
exactly. Yeah. We all gotta lie to ourselves.
I
sometimes.
cooked that whole pound of bacon and like I did it nice, exactly how I like it. Let it drain off, and then I ate that entire pound
the
of
whole
bacon.
thing. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Justin, you had that Ron Swanson moment when he was just like, just give me all your eggs and bacon. And he's
I
like,
feel like you didn't
"Stop.
hear me.
I fear that you heard, give me some of your bacon and eggs. What I said was, give me all of your bacon and eggs.
Yeah.
And that's exactly
I got
right.
it. Yeah.
That's exactly right.
I got it.
Like I'm not proud of it, but like I'm also not that sad
You should
about it
absolutely
either.
be proud of
You
it.
should be proud
And you know
of
what?
that, yeah.
We can use that to circle back to
Yes.
my grievance. If you want your man card back, just do what Justin
Yeah.
did, and I will give it back.
Eat a bunch of bacon.
Eat a bunch of bacon and eggs, and just do a whole bunch of Ron Swanson stuff for like a day.
Just a day. Reset yourself.
Yeah.
It'd be good for you.
Fucking hey. Yeah, I believe in that.
Yeah, I feel like an insane person, but I still back it.
What you got, Moses?
I got small grievances.
You have a grievance with my company.
I don't get why like your only job is to deliver mail, but you don't do it.
Okay.
It's just weird to
That's
me.
like so fucking loaded.
I mean, I love it.
Justin, tell me why you're bad at your job.
Yeah.
Why do you hate Moses?
It's not you personally, but I can call out a couple of areas. It's Milwaukee and all of Ohio. Like, again, Ohio is
I can
already...
actually explain why it's garbage out there right now.
What, in those two specific ones? Okay.
No, so
So maybe there is something to this.
like this is not a political thing, but Louis DeJoy, the guy that was appointed the Postmaster General under Trump's administration, is kind of like a raging lunatic. Shouldn't have been in the job to begin with or whatever, but like he instituted what's called the 10-year plan. That's going to save the post office all the money and make us like blah, 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 like viable.
Oh, I thought just hanging up on me when I'm putting in a claim
No.
is how
saves
they're
money.
saving the money.
So his plan is in Middle America to essentially, like his 10-year plan is to like eliminate most processing plants throughout the country.
I mean,
And
sure,
merge them
because they're
together.
not processing.
Well,
they're
no.
just not doing anything.
No.
So-
And it's been going on since he was appointed, and it's not helping anything because you are putting, it was already 10 pounds of shit in a 9-pound bag. Now it's like 25 pounds of shit in a 9-pound bag.
The handle's broke.
It's
everywhere.
like
I can't even get
The
like,
post
bags
office-
for them to bring it.
the post office was never like a bastion of efficiency. It's
Fair,
antiquated,
like,
always been an antiquated, and it's
I
10 times
understand
worse now.
that, but like the mail, like I remember mail being delivered. That's all I'm saying.
Like unless
That's all I'm
It
saying.
makes it sound like he's coming back from like 1850. I can remember when mail was delivered, and now we're living in like the postman.
I deal with a lot of nonsense about this, and sometimes it's not the post office.
I guess it's
fault,
just you and Pepperidge Farms
I-
that
it's
remember.
just
so
Jesus
dramatic.
Christ.
You remember a time when the mail was delivered? Pepperidge Farm remembers.
God damn it!
Like, this is the honest to fuck truth about it, though. It's like, where
I'm sorry.
it's incredibly
I'm out of
incredibly
line, but
stupid
I'm
and
right.
yet so astute.
I'm out of line, but I'm right.
Yo, you are, and I'll give you that fully.
Why can't they just put it in
No.
the mailbox? Like it's there. They're there. I know because they assure me it's been geolocated.
The problem is 90% of the time they can't even get it to the proper post office.
Well, that's fair too.
Yeah, it just goes in circles, and you got so much volume going through places that were never meant to handle volume. This is Middle America. So you are taking out 5 places to merge into one place. Now you're, instead of being with a 50-mile distribution from a hub, you're like a 250-mile distribution from a hub. The post office will be dead in 20 years, as is intended.
Oh well, then all right, I'm all right.
I mean,
Well,
that-
I hope you do well, but
I don't care.
That kind of makes sense with a Trump appointee. It's just
Yeah.
like, let's just get rid of this government
Just
service.
bury it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's...
yeah, how does
and also,
Russian
here's the
mail
thing. Like,
work?
I'm not saying like this is like a Trump thing.
They just have
The post office has been a political pariah for fucking
For a
forever.
while, yeah.
Yeah.
You've mentioned that before, I think, on the podcast
Yeah.
before, at least. But my point is that it's not necessarily a Trump thing, but it's definitely a right-wing thing.
Yes.
To just,
Yeah.
it's not even necessarily a right-wing thing, too. It's also a libertarian thing. Let's get
No,
rid of
it's-
as many government agencies
And that's that-
government-adjacent agencies
It's getting
as possible.
rid of government fluff.
Yeah.
And like, yeah, I work for the post office, but like my ideals lie where I'm like, yeah, this is wildly inefficient.
Yeah.
I don't necessarily think it'll be better in the private sector.
Yeah.
That's fair,
That's
but
not.
Like, in the private
Like,
sector, you're
like
going to
it-
pick it up and save the day on your shipping.
Yeah.
no, I get that it's a complicated ordeal to undertake, but I've had packages from New Jersey that were going to New Jersey wind up in Alaska.
Yeah, I was about to say Alaska, Great Britain.
Like, it's just like, why? Like, I didn't even pay for that postage. Like, why is it getting there?
My only defense, and I'm not really defending it, is that like, it's not even a defense. What am I trying to say? Is that
Yeah,
like,
I'm not attacking
this has
you.
always
I-
happened, but it's like, it's never going to get better.
I know that, but
It's never going to get
definitely
better.
won't
That's
improve.
why
I will not defend the post office.
That's why it makes it more of a
Yeah.
like that
No.
pisses me off because like this seems like such a simple task and like granted, I don't know what the intricacies would be to
And
make it
you know
happen,
what? I
but,
couldn't explain them to you.
but I know what they're doing doesn't work.
No, I get written up. So like they're trying to force full digital on like something that barely works better than its Pony Express predecessor. It's horrendous. And now,
It's like we'll give you guys beepers.
They did 5 years ago. No, that's a lie.
Now y'all can
That's a
sell
lie.
drugs.
I'm going to straight up
Keep
tell
the
you.
shit afloat.
I know a couple people who got fired from that job for doing that.
No, straight up. When Amazon had the ability to deliver and take pictures of your shit on your doorstep, UPS had something similar. What we got was a scanner that we had to pair with a flip phone
Nice.
to communicate the data digitally.
I talked to
Don't say his name.
I don't know his name. But a postmaster, like the whatever.
Oh, yeah, that
like
guy.
One of the higher
Yes,
up
that
guys
guy.
of
Yeah,
the
yeah,
area.
yeah. I know.
And he is like, yeah, I wish we could be able to like take pictures of the packages. I'm like, well, I get those from UPS and Amazon.
Yeah.
And you're also delivering for Amazon.
No.
Well, not
but
much
you
as
can't
we used
do
to,
it.
but
Like,
depending
yeah.
where you're at.
Well, no, Amazon's delivering for you.
I can't help but picture just like that there's like a mail carrier that drops off the package and then there's someone else back in that like regular postal vehicle that we say that is like transmitting the fucking like telegraph information.
But don't they do that with like because you can't leave the mail truck for a certain amount of time or else they know somehow.
So like I can't take pictures of your package when I deliver it, but if I'm in one space more than 3 minutes, I get written up.
Yeah, and they know if you're out of your vehicle.
No.
Or that's what a couple. of
UPS
know the
has
route.
the sensors
Yeah.
in the seats.
okay.
We don't have that yet, but our new vehicles are rolling out.
Yeah,
this
they
month.
won't
So
take pictures, but
I
they'll put that in.
imagine, and they have cameras inside and outside. So
Those are those weird vehicles from like what is it, Cloudy with a
yeah,
chance
it looks
of
as
meatballs?
exactly right. Yeah,
I'm so excited to see those.
they're
What a
fun.
time to be alive.
They are fun.
Yeah.
they're
They're like ice cream trucks without
Yes.
the joy.
Well, without
Yes.
anything, without anything that you want.
Yeah, because they're not delivering anything.
All they have is
It's
things that you already
USPS.
paid for, and then maybe you'll get them.
well, all
We
right.
pay postage. We throw it out.
And this is largely a government thing, but I can speak from the post office side. So like they're 10 years too late.
Yeah.
So when we got the Amazon deal, I went from having 30 packages a day to like 250 to 300 packages a day.
So you were overworked.
Yeah,
Yeah, clearly. Yeah.
couldn't fit in the truck. We'd have to do like double runs and stuff like that. Now, because Amazon has their own drivers now, I'm not down to like my 30 packages a day, but I'm
They're
like,
called illegals.
where I deliver, like, yeah, I have like about 100 packages a day. And now they're rolling out the trucks that can carry 300 packages a day.
There are a lot of the.
And let's not even get into the whole argument about how much is going to be electric and blah, 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 because that was a political football. It's
about
all stupid.
that had
It's
nothing
all
to do with
stupid.
my question.
Your loaded ass question.
Yeah.
About that one.
Fully
So,
charged.
yeah, you're fucked.
Yeah, I know, but that's why it makes me angry. Because I know there's nothing that can be done about it, or even if there is something that can be done, it will never be done.
Well, listen, we will always let you down. And unfortunately, UPS is now going into a downsizing swing.
Oh fuck!
This would be
Now I
such
only
a-
got FedEx, and they're terrible.
This would
Yeah,
be
they're
such
the
a
worst,
great rendition of the Rick Ashley song.
Oh,
Always gonna give you up.
That's a good short.
But like, unfortunately, it's the whole nature of that business entirely is falling apart.
I get.
What a time to be alive.
We're making America great again.
Yeah, I've also seen the movie Soylent Green.
One of my legal names has that last name.
If I may, I'll chime in with a grievance
Please.
that I have.
Please.
It's probably my only one. It's driving related. And I feel like maybe we touched upon this once before, but people who drive in the left lane
Okay.
Yep.
and
I think I started
drive below the speed limit. It's that I don't
need a
understand
beer.
what's going on in your head. And I don't mind like that somebody skips over there and then like does their thing and then like somebody's behind you and then they move back over. That's cool. We're all like trying to use the same highway. But the person who drives in the left lane the whole time, even when they're being passed. And I'm talking about somebody who's driving like, you know, the highways around here, speed limit I believe is 65 miles
About
an hour,
65, yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So it's understood that you go 75, almost no matter what lane you're in.
Can I just, if you were, like, I know it's the speed limit, but like as a logical human, if you are not going minimum that, I think you're fucking up.
Yeah, I think you shouldn't go below that.
Right.
Maybe if you can't drive at that speed because you're uncomfortable with it, then there's many
And
other
here's a
roads.
caveat. I'm
Yeah.
fine. If you want to drive 65, stay in the right-hand lane.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
That doesn't bother
if you
me.
want to stay
Yeah.
to the right, that's perfectly cool.
That's
I
your
have
place.
No problem with that.
That's
Or
your place.
even if you want to drive with traffic,
yeah,
middle right lane. Like, sometimes they're two lane.
I
but-
go the understood speed limit of 75, right?
Yeah.
which is 10 miles over the limit.
Yeah.
For those of you who don't live in New Jersey. And I more or less do my best to keep to the right-hand side, simply because that's better for myself. The cops are less likely to get you there. There's fewer, you're not in the way of anybody. There's a lot of reasons to just do that for your own volition. People who drive at 50 miles an hour, 15 below the speed limit.
In the left-hand lane.
In the left-hand lane. And then when somebody rides up on them, a foot off of their back bumper, and they're swerving around. And I'm not that person, but I support that person. They make their eyes through the rearview mirror, and I'm like, yeah, fucking run that person off the road. I want death today. I'm all about that person. So I'm fully supporting it.
Violence.
Yeah, exactly. I'm all about choosing violence, even though I don't personally engage in that. But that person who's got that crazy person swerving in their rear view, and they're just no, I'm going 50, and that's cool. And I don't really understand what's happening in your head. Because it's just, what is going on?
I have this isn't for a majority of them, but a small portion of them are just as fucking crazy, and they are just doing that to piss somebody off.
I mean, it works.
Yeah, and you could get into it with them, but if I
ever find out that you're one of these people.
No, he's Speedy Gonzalez. He flies past.
Yeah.
me.
Oh, yeah.
No, I know that
the-
you drive at 100 miles an hour. So.
Yeah,
But if I ever find out that so what you're describing right now is that you're the type of person to be that douche. If I ever find out that you're driving at 50 in the fast lane, I won't bother you on the road, but I will stop at that 7-Eleven where you're drinking your stupid fucking bullshit fucking whatever fucking
It's a
Modelo's
it's a
outside.
PBR
I'll beat
Slurpee.
the shit out of you.
He's drinking a Modelo's doing
A
DMT.
Modelo
Yeah.
Slurpee.
If I could take a second, here's something I've kind of observed over the past 6 months. So early in the year, I got this big ass truck. It ain't fast. So I stick to middle lane to pass, right lane to cruise.
Yeah.
I don't go into the left lane because I can't move that fast.
No, feel it.
What I've noticed is that I end up passing people in the left lane because it is so backed up and no one goes.
It's so fucking absurd.
These might be just New Jersey problems.
Oh, they very much might be, but that's what I'm saying. I'm just giving my own.
Yeah,
observation.
The basis, I guess, of my grievance is that people don't move over to the right even when they should.
Yeah,
No, they just
that's
stay
what it is.
there.
no,
like,
why are you there unless you're passing?
I cruise in the right. So
Yeah.
to tie in with that, I cruise in the right, and I'm very happy to do that. And I try and not let myself get riled up by the bullshit that people are doing in their own fucking lanes, which honestly is it's a parable for life. But that said, I just fucking cruise along. But every now and again, there's somebody in the right lane, and they're going 40 miles an hour.
Yes,
I'm not
exactly.
going to
Yeah.
drive
Yeah.
40, so it's I have to go around
And,
you. And now
oftentimes,
I'm in the middle lane, and you're going 50.
Right.
So I got to go around you. And now I'm in the left lane,
And to
you're
do it
going
properly.
50 miles an hour, and it's just fucking absurd.
Yeah.
And it's not the speed is irrelevant. It's the rudeness of that. You basically just don't give a fuck at all.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's what bothers me. It's like you see that other people are trying to get where they're going, and you just don't give a fuck in the least bit. You just have zero fucks to give.
It's especially prevalent around this time. I
Yeah.
got cut off
It's
going up to point or whatever.
Yeah.
And I was just so visibly frustrated. I just started grabbing my eyes and all that stuff.
yeah, they're bugging out.
Because 2 or 3 cars cut me off.
Yeah.
I was just what are you doing?
Yeah.
It's like a freaking, convoy to cut me off. So, so when I had,
I know what he's talking about.
When I-
in this situation.
when I resumed sight, because I had just buried my head in my hands,
Yeah.
they were flipping me off.
Of course.
As if
Yeah.
I am the asshole.
Yeah.
No, you son of a bitch. You cut me off, and so did your pal.
This is why I just space out when I'm driving. Because I used to be an aggressive driver when I was a younger man.
Yeah.
And now it's I'm just trying to have a nice little fucking country drive.
Yeah.
And every now and again, there's somebody flips me off on the road, and I'm I will fucking murder you. I will follow you to the home that you live in, and I will murder your children, and I will murder your children's children. You are dead to me.
I really want to point out how close we all are to becoming Russell Crowe from Unhinged.
Yes.
Oh,
no,
yeah.
yeah.
I'm about 50 pounds
I was
away
gonna
from
say
that.
Gladiator.
Every day. Every chicken finger that I eat gets me closer, Dan.
No, when I'm on the road, I am angry 90% of the time.
Which is funny because you're actually that asshole on the road.
I just want to get where I'm going. Like, get out of my way. Like, let me just speed.
I'm
And
not
out
going
of the
to
way.
say. You at least are moving speedily. I'll give you
I'm
that.
trying to be. I don't want to be here either.
Yeah.
Like, let me
It's
go.
not disparaging towards you, but like, there's been times you're like, all right, I'm gonna follow you back, blah 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 blah. We get on the parkway and you fly past me, at like 90 miles.
You're just going like 110 in
I
your
only
little
need to get
toaster
through
box.
the town. The parkway, I'm fine.
I'm
I
pissed
get
off
to where
about
I
these
need to
people.
be. You're like-
These people driving fucking like Ferraris and then they're going 50 in the fast lane, and you're driving a fucking toaster in the right, going about 300 miles an hour.
Baby,
The
I
pink
gotta
is
butter my
peeling off
bread,
of your
so
car.
I gotta go. I got time for
And
your
you
little
have nowhere to
nonsense.
be. You have nowhere to
I
be.
got a bed to be. I could be sleeping. So all I want to do is get home to go to sleep or pet my cats, and they're both at the same place. So like, get the fuck out of my way so I can go do it.
I'll summate what I was
damn.
saying.
Your Italian is really showing.
Yeah.
This guy's a Genzo through and through.
And you're giving me shit for eating ravioli? Fuck
Oh, no, I wasn't giving you a shit. I was praising you for it.
Bippity
You were
boppity.
going to get the award, but you were like, oh, I don't eat that many ravioli. I'm like, oh, well, maybe I misplaced.
What is this, Goodfellas?
We're really working through it tonight, boys.
Well,
I definitely just had the Ray Liotta cackle.
Yeah.
This is the state of a podcast.
Which we are going to get to.
We will get to it. I promise you we
And
will
I'm
get
letting
to
you
it.
know what's going on.
So this is why I'm going to make this short and sweet.
Yeah.
This my final grievance because we are shockingly running out
Yeah,
of time.
I just looked at the clock. I was like, oh my god.
You are the podcast consigliere.
This isn't so much of a grievance. I guess it's a grievance of the state of sports media.
Yeah.
But this is my plea to every single guy that is like, if you're like in high school or you're in college and you're thinking, I want to be in sports media. I have one
Oh man.
word of advice for you. Don't. The hours suck. The pay sucks. You think you're going to be the next Stephen A. Smith or Pat McAfee or whatever the fuck? You're not. You're going to work long hours on sports you don't like. If you want
mostly women's.
women's sports, you're thinking you're going to roll right out of college and you're going to talk about the NFL or the NBA or baseball or hockey, whatever the hell your favorite sport is. Guess what you're going to do? You're going to go cover a junior high school fucking field hockey game in some town you've never fucking heard of for a newspaper that pays you dick. Even if it is a newspaper at this point.
If I can offer outside perspective, like Dan, like when you went to chase all that, like post like your post-military, post the career you had post-military and like went back to college and shit and went to chase your dream of doing that. Like I was super stoked for you. And then watching you the past like years practically dying.
Yeah. Because full disclosure, I think I've said this on the podcast before. I worked at the National Hockey League. It was technically a part of Major League Baseball at the time.
Right,
because digital rights are such a weird fucking thing. But, you know, you think that was like, oh, like every time I told a stranger or someone that was like, hey, I work at the National Hockey League. Yeah. Oh, that's so cool. I'm like, it's not though.
It sounds neat.
Because I work from 6 p.m. to 2 a.m.
That's what I was about to say. You're cutting clips at like 1:30 in the fucking morning.
Yeah. And if your game goes into overtime and in the playoffs, it's going to be multiple overtimes most of the time, you ain't getting home. I've spent a number of shifts getting home at like 4 a.m. because my game went into overtime.
Yeah.
So, and I love hockey. And actually, I had no actual like inhibitions of leaving that company. I was actually trying to learn more so I could show like, hey, I'm valuable. I want to be here. Give me a raise type of thing. And then they laid me off because Disney always comes in and just lays a hammer to the employees. But now I'm at where I'm at. I shifted over to politics and then now I'm at where I'm at. And it's kind of like all of these things. And it is the absolute worst of all worlds because now you are a slave to the news cycle, the regular news cycle. You're a slave to the sports news cycle. And then if anything stupid culturally happens, you also have to be aware of that. And most of the time, it's so fucking stupid. You just like,
wow.
Like,
what is it? What else would it be?
Like, I just found out who this Haktua girl is. And
I also,
and I like, listen, I want that kind of girl in my life, but I don't want to hear about it because she seems far away. She's in Nashville.
This was on my list, but like I didn't think it was because it's just the culture.
Yeah.
You know, it's something.
It's not just her.
It's the internet culture. They've blah, 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 and practically ruined this girl's life now as far as
Well, no,
I
she
know.
just got
it ruined? I thought she was
She
doing
just got a
well.
big. She got a deal.
Oh.
It's like, like
She got t-shirts.
Yeah, she got.
I know they were like trying to
Like,
search for her for like a long time.
Her and the girl from the Stanley Cup Final that showed her tits.
Oh, great.
Is that why she's in that?
What are they, OnlyFan darlings now?
She got a Playboy deal.
Of course.
Like this
Of
is
course.
like
That's still a thing.
Dan, that's absurd. And on what website did they post
Playboy.
Is
I'm
Playboy
just
still
telling
a
you right
thing?
now.
Like, why do we have Playboy if we have Pornhub?
Because they.
I mean, honestly,
Their
why do you have any
grandfather-
other porn
Yeah,
site?
no, yeah. It's
Like-
Dan's right. Yeah, it's exactly right.
Legacy. Yeah, we all read it for the articles, but they weren't
only
good.
reason I
They
go
weren't
there.
good writers.
By the way, to wrap up, kind of like where I'm at with this.
Yeah.
Women, do whatever the hell you want, especially if you're attractive. You'll just go pushed right to the front of the line because, hey, if you're cute, you'll be an anchor. You might not be able to speak, and you'll be an anchor. If you're a dude, back of the line. I hope you're talented. You're probably not.
Damn it. I was about to ask what my odds were.
Probably the same as mine.
You fit a quota.
Damn it. All right.
So, guys, do something else. Go to trade school, be an electrician, plumber, whatever. Do something with your hands. Don't sit in front of a computer.
Yeah, learn
I've been
to-
doing something with my hands.
I thought the dream.
Not that.
All right.
I thought the dream is work is to do what you love until it kills you.
Oh,
And
that's you.
like
You're talking
Dan's dead.
Bukowski fucking
That's-
shit there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing right now, Moses.
That was
Yeah.
the Bible that I was raised by. Maybe that explains a lot.
Find what
of
you
my
love
life.
and let it kill you. That's
Yeah.
Charles Bukowski.
Hey,
But
he
like,
did, and it's killing him.
Masturbation and
Yeah,
working on it.
I haven't seen a downside yet, except that one
I
loss.
feel a little chafed, but
Well, no
getting
moisturizer. I'm. Maybe it's Maybelline.
wow.
What are you doing?
Well,
all right.
I
Like,
want what I want.
been doing the podcast for a fucking hot minute now.
Yep.
Learning the hard way through and through.
Thank you for sticking with us.
Yeah, those of you that are
if
listening.
you are there still.
Yeah. And always and ultimately, job number one is to get Dan paid. Like
Hashtag
we
get Dan paid.
Get Dan paid. He's the one. This is the straight up truth. We show up and sit in front of the microphones and we talk nonsense. Dan is the one that edits this, and he does a fantastic job. Straight up.
Yes.
for the-
yes.
For the last year, we are changing up the workflow.
Yes,
But like for
yeah.
the last year, I have taken, the audio of this. I've trimmed out. So everything here sounds more enjoyable to you. We move on to a video component.
It makes me
that-
sound good.
That will be
different.
That will be different. But I want to make this as good of a product for you guys to listen to as possible. And there are moments in this podcast where I repeat myself or somebody fucks something up.
Or we say something absolutely horrific that cannot go on air.
Just the
You're
amount of
welcome.
time-
Yeah.
Just the amount of time that goes into you editing out
Yeah.
the fapping noises from Moses. It's
And sometimes, Moses just drops trow and starts going to town. And
No,
I'm like, this is
really
terrible
so-
audio.
Right now, I'm jerking off, and you can't hear it. Can you?
I wish I couldn't see it.
Yeah, that is.
Well, that's the only thing that gets me off.
Yeah.
But we are, there's a lot of things that we had to learn, like kind of on the fly. One of the big reasons why I wanted to do this podcast with you guys, other than you guys are my friends, is in my current job, it's mostly all post-production.
Right.
And I wanted to have a little bit more of experience in production itself.
Exactly. Hardware side, all that
hardware
stuff.
It makes
side.
you better at your job.
Yeah, and I would hope that it would make me, even if I never get a job within mainstream media, so to speak, in production, I still get to do it.
Right.
And I enjoy this, and I don't know if you couldn't notice this, I enjoy this infinitely more than working at what I work on right now.
You don't love working for big media?
No, I haven't for the last.
Dan, I'm going to ask you
Years.
again.
Don't you work for Disney?
I did.
Yeah, like
And
that's a fucking
they were the
mouse, and they got like cotton candy. I
And they were
imagine,
the
everywhere.
harbingers of doom.
It
Yeah.
was nothing but cotton candy and smiles for
Yeah,
Dan.
well,
then.
no, I've heard that at the vet when we were putting our dog down. He's like, "Oh, we're gonna make it into
Jesus
cotton candy."
Christ.
What? No, it makes it okay for a kid.
Oh.
It's like,
All right.
oh, it's gonna be fun and
Went
games.
off the rails real
Wow. Can
Listen,
Can we get through one podcast where you don't mention killing a dog?
I didn't say it was a dog, Dan.
Well,
You did.
Oh, did I?
holy shit, you did it. Shut up.
Absolutely.
Give me a second.
Justin,
Sorry.
go ahead.
So the point we're trying to make here is like we have stuck with this. We've all learned. Dan has been so gracious. Like, truly, and I mean this. And, like, yeah, there is workflow changes happening. We are learning to share the responsibility, and we want this to continue. There's lots of Dan's time involved and spent, lots of money and spent on equipment.
Yeah.
And, like, we want to take this and essentially, like, make something of it. Like, not necessarily, like, none of us are going to get rich off of this. None of us are even paid off of this. Ideally, we want Dan to be paid. So there's going to be a little bit of restructuring coming up, and also there's going to be a studio move coming up in the near future. So, like, if sounds a little bit different, just be prepared for that. Right now, we are still committed to our production schedule.
Yeah.
Of, our weekly release. And all I'm really trying to say is we care about this, and those of you that listen, and there are a good amount of you now these days, and we do very much appreciate you. I would just like to take the opportunity we just revamped. I know we set it up a long time ago and paid absolutely zero attention to it.
I tried. I absolutely tried, but I was just like, listen, I'm not only doing this, I also manage the social media accounts.
Yeah.
And at one point, I'm like, sorry, no one's going to this anyway, so might as well just...
No, and that's not your fault.
Yeah.
We set it up because it's something people set up. We weren't even ready to even think about anything like that. So we have kind of refabbed our Patreon. It's much more realistic now to what we want to come. And if you do enjoy this and you come out and you check us out every week, I would request you just at least go over there and take a look at it. Now, it is patreon.com/loudandrunk. Go with that direct link because we are an 18 over designation, so it can be hard to search us on Patreon. But if you really do enjoy us, and there's cheap options there, it's not very expensive. But if you find it and you want to and you want us to be able to improve our situation with audio, maybe get Dan a little bit of scratch in his pocket, we'd really appreciate that. And I'll make sure that everything is linked up and ready to go. I'll get a link off the website for a direct link because, like I said, searchable is not that easy because we are an 18 plus.
Yeah, we tend to curse on this podcast.
Yeah.
I don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
I'll add on to it as a just a little tag along for that. I would say that yes, if people are enjoying this, then it is important to, for the most part, do what you can. Just follow, subscribe, all these types of things. Get Dan perhaps like a bowl of gruel. Anything that we can afford for him.
That would honestly be a step up.
He does like gruel.
He does work very hard.
Nourishing gruel.
Yeah, he's enthusiastic about it even still as I watch him.
His mouth is salivating like we're vomiting into a sink. That was not this episode.
But no, thank you to all of the new subscribers. I think that it really is glorious, and I think
we have been growing.
So thank you to the people who have recently signed up, despite Moses' idiosyncrasies, and hopefully that continues to grow.
No, like we are.
It will.
Like, listen, we're never going to be mainstream. We're a bunch of regular dudes just trying to hack our way through lives.
I don't know. We give it a little while. We'll be right there in Joe Rogan
we'll turn into nightmares like everybody else.
So the DMT is coming.
I cannot promise you anything.
I thought you ordered it already.
I'm already on it, Dan.
I thought you were ordering more.
Yeah, because I'm running out now.
Well, you know he doesn't order things. He just puts it into the group chat for things to be ordered.
Get me DMT.
Whatever
Moments
works.
before we record.
Well, we watched the movie that had nothing to do with cocaine.
No idea.
Just let it go. Just let it go.
All right.
But my final thoughts for all of you that have been here from I know there was probably not many of you that are here from the beginning, but those of you that are here now, really appreciate you. If you come back, appreciate that whole lot. It's a slow build and we're dedicated to doing it. So very much appreciate you. Check out the Patreon, see if it's for you. And that's really about all I have for right now.
In the words of Moses.
Oh, yeah, word of mouth. Tell your friends. That's one of the best things you can do for us. If you enjoy it, tell a friend that you think might enjoy it.
I was actually, on that note, I was shocked and appalled that my mother has been listening to the podcast. And
yes, I am shocked and appalled by...
Oh, she must love that.
Yeah, she must love that.
Are you Simon now? I don't know who you are anymore.
Well, yes, my name's always been Simon.
His name is Happy.
Happy. Yeah, that's what it was. Happy Simon.
It's Happy Seinfeld.
Yeah.
You are
My
not to be
name's whatever
trusted.
you want it to be. You guys are the ones being weird about it. That said, my mother's been listening, and that's fun for all of us.
Check out the podcast. Also, obviously check out the podcast, but check out the Patreon. Also, we just kind of got ourselves a whole new setup. We'll be having more guests.
Oh yeah.
With the possibility of more guests.
There's a travel
we have a
episode
good,
coming up.
we have a
Center.
good story that all four of us have been on, plus some others,
So-
some other guests.
Look out in the future because this is sort of like where we can actually make this more of a state of the podcast.
Yeah.
Our hope going forward is that if you like the podcast the way it is with the four of us, there'll still be episodes like that every once in a
absolutely.
while. But we kind of want to gravitate towards having more guests on, whether it's people that we know, maybe it's people that we don't know. And we
Maybe
want to,
total strangers.
because we want to have a different perspective on things that we talk about. If we keep going the way that we're going to keep, keep going the way we're going, we're going to run out of ideas.
If not run out of ideas, kill each other.
Yeah.
And that's why next week we're going to be hosting none other than Donald Trump and Joe Biden for the first ever Drunk and Loud.
Can
I thought it was a Thunderdome. I thought it was going to say Thunderdome.
Can I say how amazing it would be if the four of us moderated a presidential
Honestly,
debate with
that'd be
those
great.
two?
How wild card and insane.
Yeah.
This man would be arrested immediately.
Oh, no, absolutely.
Would I? I'm going to make them both say
probably,
something that I didn't want
I
to say.
think that probably Joe Biden would never show up here, but like Donald Trump might just be hungry enough to show up.
He's often in New Jersey.
He is.
We might
He's got
have
a golf course here somewhere.
Yeah,
One of us has to learn how to play golf.
Why?
To meet him on
The
the
guy's
course.
a great golf player. No matter what you keep saying about this, that you think that he can't play golf,
I don't think
he apparently is a great
I'm
golf
sure he's
player.
better than Joe Biden, but like
I don't know.
the bar is
Why are
low.
we having that debate?
All I would say is
We are now descending into that stupid debate.
guys,
That is what debates are.
This is the state of the podcast,
Yeah,
not the
yeah.
state of how fucking terrible politics in this country are.
Yeah.
Golf.
Listen, all of us are
Handicaps.
going into this
Eight
season.
for
and saying,
mystics.
it's going to be inescapable, but we don't need to choke on it right now.
But yes, going forward,
gonna choke
we're
on this
going to have
Modelo.
going forward, we're going to have more guests on, and we hope that you enjoy this kind of shift that we're going to do. Let us know, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, even TikTok, because one of the things that I'm going to try and do with this new workflow is get you more short form content so you can enjoy that and also attract more people to listen to this podcast, because we don't grow if we just remain what we've been doing for the last year.
No.
So one of the key things that I'm going to try and do is get you more digestible.
Oh, he just got fucked up by Moses being an asshole.
Yeah, Moses-
No, I just thought of a great slogan. We don't grow if you don't sow.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah, I like Ike.
What the? All right, you know what? Don't engage. Don't engage.
And if you like this kind of absolute chaos, we are still going to be here. I still like doing this. I love it a lot more than what I do for a day job. So we're going to keep doing this. I enjoy every single moment of it, except for the times Moses absolutely pisses me the fuck off.
Love you. I love you too.
So with all of that in mind, I'm going to close this out the way I close out every episode. Make sure that you subscribe to this podcast. And if you are already subscribed, please tell someone else that you think would enjoy this episode. And if you haven't already done so, leave us a 5-star review. Check us out on YouTube and Rumble. We will hopefully make some changes to how we present the podcast later on, but we are still exploring what we're going to be doing with those two channels. If you are subscribed to us, make sure that you like, comment, and share this. Hit that notification bell, especially for YouTube, because YouTube has been a challenge. They kind of just hit us with a thing. It was a mass thing. It wasn't just us, but it's a mass thing where you have to kind of just take a video of ourselves.
Yeah.
One of us has to do that.
They were born with hate in their hearts.
They're trying to, it's a
They
scam.
woke up and chose violence.
It's a scam to get biometric data. That's
It is.
essentially how I phrase it. So we haven't done that yet. I have taken
No,
kind of
because
like,
we're dancing with like a quasi-necessary evil, and it sucks, but we'll figure it out.
I'm
We're
also
still trying to make the mannequin look almost human.
there it goes.
also, it's just the libertarian in me.
Yeah.
It's just like, no, I know I can do this. But
Yeah.
I will absolutely not give you what you want.
Creating false identities behind the scenes.
We're doing
Dan
that.
look-alike.
We're doing that
In some
Tupac
ways, it's a clone.
AI thing without that.
But
Without
also,
the AI.
if you enjoy this podcast, follow us on social media. That is a direct line, essentially, to me. We are on Twitter. I often use that to just make fun of people.
He
Facebook.
does a great job, by the way.
Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. If you enjoyed this podcast as well, make sure that you check out the Patreon. We're also on Locals. If you are, for some reason, ideologically possessed to not use Patreon, we have locals.com.
I'm still working to figure that out.
Yeah.
So.
I deleted that app off my
America.
phone. 'Cause, I'm not going to do this.
Also, our home base, loudanddrunk.com. Should anything happen on any of these social media platforms or on YouTube, even Rumble, because who knows where these platforms
Where
go.
they will go.
Yeah. You'll always be able to find us at loudanddrunk.com. And then there's a number of things you can do there as well. You can check out merch. And I'm really hoping that with the workflow changes, that we'll be able to add more things to the website as time progresses.
We are maturing and figuring this out.
Yes.
In earnest. We care about this, and we care that you guys that are here listening like it. So we're going to make a better product as we go through.
We are absolutely doing everything that we can to make as good a product as possible. That has always been my intention from day one with this podcast, to these guys' dismay at times, because I am nothing if not an intolerable perfectionist.
Just like Moses.
Well,
Everything in balance.
I am the antithesis to Dan.
So for Moses, Justin, and Happy Seinfeld.
Dan, Moses is cutting out the copper pipes in the walls right now. Just to be clear.
No, it's so hot that I'm putting them back in.
Are you putting the copper piping into the new studio then? Is that what we're doing?
Yeah, because it's hot out there.
I fucking hope so. I cannot afford more copper pipes.
He says that, but the Jew in his Jew pockets say I can't.
And until I forgot to say me. Thank you for that.
When did you get here?
I've been here since day one.
My
News
condolences. My condolences.
I'm Dan, and until next time, #get Dan paid.
Yes.
Drink up, bitches.